Men, Jack and Hunter at it again. Monster, Monster Men, Monster, Monster Men, Monster, Monster Men. Zombies, Wolfman, the undead. Monster, Monster Men, in your mind under your bed. Monster, Monster Men.
Welcome to Monster Men.
Hey! I totally screwed him up in doing an arc. That's what I do. Hey, guess who we have on the show today, Jack?
Why who?
Why, Adam Hail Cesare,
Hail
who
Cesare.
is a kick-ass author and part of the SAMHAIN family. We met actually face-to-face for the first time a couple of months ago at Scares the Care. He is the author of some of my favorite books that SAMHAIN's put out. Video Night, which I just finished last week. Oh my god, I had a total boner. Tribesmen, which is about cannibals, which we'll fit into a conversation later, and Exponential, and his latest is Mercy House, which looks so good. I wish I didn't set my Horrortober reading list already because I wanted to see if I could squeak that in there, but you're gonna have to wait for like Thanksgiving.
Oh, no worries. It's perfect. It's perfect for while you're eating.
I'm sure. From what I've read so far, I'm sure it's perfect with turkey.
Exactly.
So, hey, welcome, Adam.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited to be here. I like the show.
It's good to have a real writer on here.
Yeah, I know. I heard Glenn was on before me, so.
Yeah, he's all right.
You have an equally impressive head of hair like him.
Oh, I don't know if the lighting's wrong or something, but
It's different.
better than Glenn's.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Glenn is mohawking it. He's just got that like.
That's true. He's a punk guy, and
He had like
he's got the cred. He's got like the cool leather jacket and the cred.
And I just should let everyone know that at Scares the Care you were being referred to as Serpico, and I think it fits perfectly.
Yeah, and I still haven't ditched the scruff. I'm trying to grow.
I'm
been
proud.
trying to grow the same beard since Scares the Care. And that was June, so.
I haven't shaved since yesterday.
Wow.
I'm a wolf man.
Well, I'm excited because when I saw the cover of your Cannibal book, I just thought that it was so cool. Tribesmen? Yeah.
There it be.
So when we were doing our Halloween episode and Hunter showed me that book, that was immediately, I was like, oh my god, I gotta read this. Because of all the books that I see all the stuff coming out of Samhain and everything like that. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is like, it's like something retro and something new at the same time. And so I'm really excited to read it. So I don't know what order we want to go in, but I want to hear about what is that book about, and I want to get into that at some point.
Well, thanks. It's actually out through Deadite Press, so that's how we got away with that crazy ass cover and several usages of the F-bomb on the cover copy. So I feel like I wouldn't get that past Samhain, but
I love it.
Deadite Press, they're pretty punk rock. They're into it.
Don't fuck with the natives.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
You can thank John Skip for that. That's
You know what? I was impressed by that John helped you. You know, you thanked him a lot in that book, and to have him helping you along. How did you guys meet?
That's actually because that's actually the second edition of the book, the one you're holding up. The original first edition came out in February of 2012. It was my first thing ever published. It was like the second thing I wrote because I wrote Video Night first.
Right.
And I had just approached him on Facebook because he put out a call for entries, and he said, I want short novellas that can be read and have the same punch as like a really good 2-hour movie.
Right.
So I pitched him Tribesmen. I thought of the idea, which is a skeleton film crew from Europe goes to make a ripoff of Cannibal Holocaust, basically. Like, they're tasked with, like, okay, you have less money than Deodato did, and you're going to go to I'm going to charter a plane, and you're going to go to this island, and you're going to go film this movie. And they get there, and they realize that the natives they were planning on exploiting are all dead. They die in the prologue, and we're not exactly sure what's going on. but it becomes like The Shining meets Lost meets Cannibal Holocaust. So it's not exactly a cannibal book. Like, it's promoted like a cannibal book, but it's
Right.
It has ghosts in it, and a lot of, I think, like the very few negative reactions to the book where people like, why are there goddamn ghosts in this cannibal book? And it's the
But I think that was a cool twist on it, how it turns them. It turns people who were, some of these characters were the biggest scumbags I've read in a long time, and then you're cheering like to see how they get it, you know?
Well, yeah, it's the like the virus or whatever happens to the islanders is brought there by settlers. It's not endemic to a lot of the cannibal films. It's like these natives that aren't non-white people on an island. They're always kind of icky. They're always kind of exploitational. They're always kind of a little bit racist.
Yep.
The idea in this book is it's the opposite is true. The bad guys bringing it are the white settlers are bringing the kind of malevolence with them.
Yeah, those damn Italians, Americans, and French people.
All right, I gotta tell you, there's so many things about this that are getting me excited. First of all, it's a short book, and I appreciate short books because it takes me forever to read. So a good fast read, I love.
Jack can read it in 4 number 2s.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's the way to do it. And I love novellas. It's like my favorite format to write in. Like if novellas weren't like the standard and they weren't like kind of what you're judged by,
Right.
a lot of time as like a paperback writer, I would write only novellas and be perfectly happy with it because all my favorite books are novellas. And
I think for horror it works because it's a gut punch.
yeah, it's quick in and out. I mean, a lot of you're usually tight on a few characters, so like it's not like you don't have character development. You do character development through action, which is, I think, is something Hunter does, and I think a lot of authors kind of forget to do. Like,
Yeah.
It's character development through info dump of like.
Well, that's true because in that story, if you didn't develop those characters with some you really liked and some you really hated, you wouldn't give a crap about things going to hell. You'd just be like, oh, all right, yeah, they're eating each other and there's a ghost. You know?
Well, that's a huge compliment. Thank you.
And now that you explained it as it's like The Shining and Lost wrapped in a cannibal movie. That is a great description. So if people watching this don't want to read this book, what the hell is wrong with you? You had me there. I mean that sounds great. So if this show is always a great resource for people to discover new things. I want to like stop right now and start reading it. That sounds freaking awesome.
I hope you like it, Jack.
Yeah, really. When I hate it, and I do a thumbs down on the next episode.
That book sucks. But now that actually dovetails perfectly into like the big Eli Roth movie that just came out, The Green Inferno, which Jack has been trying to get me to go, and it's been impossible lately.
Neither of you guys have seen it?
No.
Okay.
But
I went first day. I went.
Give us a review.
This is my duty. I have to go.
Give us a review. This will be a review of it.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. I think Eli Roth. There's like a lot of weird Eli Roth hate in like the horror community. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I don't.
Oh my God,
He's
they
polarizing.
despise him.
I don't quite. Huh? You despise him, or
No. People despise him. I don't.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like, I'm hot and cold on his first 2 movies, the Cabin Fever and Hostel. Like, there are parts I like, there are parts I don't like. Like, I appreciate the thought behind both of them, but I think Hostel 2 is a great movie for me.
Is it because there were more boobs?
Well, that and it is interesting making all the protagonists female, basically remaking Hostel from a female perspective. It makes it at once more iffy and problematic and like queasy, but somehow less because they're more sympathetic characters. Mm-hmm. I think it's like kind of what you were saying. Like if every character is a douchebag, then it doesn't work as well for me because then you really are cheering them on. And I think that's something Green Inferno does really well. I think I think a lot of the characters are very sympathetic. And it's so funny because if you see Eli Roth in interviews and stuff like that, he's been talking about, oh, this is a movie about like social justice warriors, and like you're gonna see like social justice warriors like ripped apart, and like he kept using that like it's a slur.
Right.
But I think he's using it to sell the movie, because if you actually see the movie, it's clear that he actually cares about these characters. I don't know. It's like a weird marketing tactic to me, to be like, you're gonna hate all the characters and want to see them die, because you kind of don't in the movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I want somebody to live. I want someone I have to cheer for.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, just the name Green Inferno comes from Cannibal Holocaust.
It's the film within the film in Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah,
right?
and the area that they go to was the Green Inferno, right?
I thought it was a Lucky Charm.
Green Infernos. He and I watched Cannibal Holocaust a year or two ago, and we hadn't seen it in years, so we kind of forgot. And we felt dirty after that movie. Like they kill a real turtle in it.
Yeah.
And
it's one of the few movies that can really do that to you, because you hear people say like, "Oh, movies where you need a shower," and at a certain point, as a horror fan, you can get like detached enough from things.
Yeah.
That movie, I saw it. The most recent time I saw it is they did a screening here, 35 millimeter, and they had a very nice like art print poster made up for it. And if you bought the poster, they gave all the money to the ASPCA.
Oh wow.
Which is a nice way to offset the fact that you're watching animal cruelty.
It's nice, but it's weird.
Yeah. And we walked out of the theater, me and my friend Scott Cole. You met Scott. I turn to him and I say, that was great. It was great to see that movie in 35 millimeter with a crowd, but I think I'm never going to watch it again. Like that, I think that was, I'm like, done. I'm like, I've seen it like kind of the best way you can see it, with a crowd with a newly struck 35 millimeter print.
Right.
I'm done. Like,
I think the first time I saw it, I might have been 12 or 13 in a theater with my friends, because I grew up 2 blocks from a movie theater where you could see anything. I remember seeing Bolero, the rated X Bo Derek movie, for free. I was walking home with my friend, and the woman who ran the place said, "Hey, I just got this print in. You want it? I always have to check the prints to make sure they're okay. Do you guys want to watch this movie with me?" Now,
that sounds like a real creepy story.
I know. Today,
hey kids, come here.
I know. So it was like
some candy.
4 8th graders watching a rated X movie on the invitation of this 45-year-old woman running a movie theater.
That would have been headlines today. That would have been...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you would have been all over the news.
And then when I went home at dinner, my mother's like, "Hey, you got home really late today. What did you do?" And my father, "Oh, we watched that Bo Derek movie that's rated X at the Kent movie theater." My father's like, was it good?" I was like, "Bo Derek was so naked. You saw everything."
The formative years of Hunter Shea. No.
Nobody's surprised I am the way I am.
Yeah, no kidding. So when you go with the Green Inferno, is it a similar experience, or is it?
No, and that's what I kind of like about it. It's so funny how they're marketing this movie in opposite ways. It's very different from the traditional cannibal movies, because there's a very long first act. Like, there's a lot of build up to them actually getting stuck there, and there's kind of this whole very intricate subplot with who's really funding their like protest efforts and who gets them stuck there. Like the cannibal stuff is almost an afterthought, but when it does happen, it's like there's a lot of comedy in the movie.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, which has turned off a lot of Eli Roth people, like fans from Eli Roth before, like the comedy bits in his more serious movies.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Cabin
one kind
Fever
of keeps
has
the
some
tone
hilarious
consistent.
stuff.
Like, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, what did you say?
Cabin Fever has some hilarious parts to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the most comedy one since that one. If
it works, it's good. It's that release valve. It's constantly going, "Holy crap, I'm scared. All right, now I'm laughing." So you go on this roller coaster ride, which I think is good. You can, if you do it right, it's awesome.
Yeah. American Werewolf in London, perfect example of that.
Exactly. I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf.
So if you brought a non-horror fan to Green Inferno, are they going to disown you after the movie?
I was surprised that when I got home and I try not to like read or look at anything beforehand. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a trailer for it or anything, but I started reading people's like comments on Facebook about it, and they were like, oh, it was like, I can't believe they cut it, like, and didn't get, like, you know, to get an R. And I couldn't believe, like, what I texted my friend, we're getting out of it, I was like, I couldn't believe this was R. I couldn't believe it was, like, it's the most graphic movie I've seen in a theater in a very, very long time, possibly ever. Like, possibly, like, wide release. Like, there's...
Wow.
Like, it's not abundance of gore, it's not, like, amount of blood on screen, it's, like, the things that they show and the way it feels very... It seems like something you'd watch, like, you wouldn't bat an eye if you saw it straight to video, like, if you like VOD'd Green Inferno, you're not going to be impressed. Right. I was just impressed because I'm like, I'm in an AMC multiplex, you know, seeing this. Like, that was interesting to me.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm in for gore.
We gotta get our butts over there, man.
It's I don't want to oversell it because it does have issues. And it part of it is like it feels like it doesn't feel super expensive. Like there are these, they keep adding this like this Jaguar that shows up throughout the movie, and it's like really spotty green screen, and like it's still I think very a good movie, and I fully enjoy it. And
hey, on a side note, your book Tribesmen was voted as one of the top books to read if you like the Green Inferno and you want to read more about this kind of stuff. Go right to Tribesmen. Yeah,
that was Lit Reactor put that out. I'm on the list with some good people.
And
only Richard Lehman and Jack Ketchum in front of me. So
yeah,
nice.
Only retweeted by Chuck Palahniuk, so that's enormous.
Yeah, he shared it out. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Fingers crossed, people find the book that way.
Yep, it's everywhere. Trust me, you guys can. It's easy to find.
Tell me about Video Night real quick, because that really we're the video store generation, you know, and
yeah, this made me question your age.
Is awesome. So, and don't you have T-shirts on your website for that? I think.
Not that exact cover, but I do have Sam McKenna of Scurvy Press does he does T-shirts in my books. So I have 3 designs. I have a Tribesman one, a Video Night one, and a Summer Job.
Yeah, we need to get some of those, dude.
They look real good. I wear my own supply all the time.
After reading Video Night, I want one because. When I read that book, I said, all right, Adam looks a hell of a lot younger than I do. All right, maybe I haven't lived the right way and I don't eat right or drink correctly. But it just seemed like you were, you know, somebody in your mid-40s to late 40s because you captured those moments in the 80s with the video store and the monsters. I don't know, that was just, to me, it was just perfect. You didn't make a misstep at all. Love that book.
Thank you. It's based in 1988, which is close to the year I was born.
Oh my God. I was dating my wife a year before that.
We were in college.
All right. Save the ageism, guys. But
you snapper.
I guess it's just it's not even like, I guess it's thorough research just through these movies. It's meant more like not like an homage, but like it could fit next to things like Frank Henenlotter or Stuart Gordon, or like Night of the Creeps, things like that. It's because it's an alien invasion book, but based on Lyle, New York in 1988. So you've got Reagan's in office and all this other stuff kind of adds into it, but it's a very small story about these 2 kids. They're getting ready to. They're going to be moving. One of them's going to be moving away for college, and one of them isn't. And they were kind of realizing their friendship is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. But just when that happens, they decide to have like one kind of blowout video night where they're going to watch horror movies like they used to, and they have this body snatching alien invasion to fight off.
Night of the Creeps is a perfect example because, again, there was some real humor in this. The way the aliens interacted with each other, some of it was like. Dropped dead hysterical.
And Night of the Creeps is a classic video store movie. That is,
yeah. The whole time I read that, I was thinking of Night of the Creeps because I'm like, it's got the invasion vibe. They're kind of taking over this neighborhood, but there's some funny ass interactions going on here. There's gore. There's tension. Oh my God, it's so damn good. I read it in 2 days.
When people ask me what's my favorite Monster Man episode, I always say it's the one we did on Video Store Horror. Because it's just me and him reminiscing about our junior high and high school and how we watched a lot of the same movies, and then I'd pull one out that he had never heard of, and vice versa. And the stories behind the night that we watched this happened, or we rented this one 10 times because if you wanted to watch a movie over and over again, you had to go rent it over and over again.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, I caught like the video store experience. Like the thing is, I was really close to the like Blockbuster putting out all the mom and pop stores. But there are still mom and pop stores. Like especially when I would go over to my friend's house. There was a Mr. Video, which is like a mom and pop store, and had a lot of older stuff. Had a lot of like weathered paper cases, like because they hadn't put them in like those nice kind of uniform Blockbuster cases.
Yeah.
So when you go to Blockbuster, they maybe had a better selection and they had more things, but you couldn't find the weird stuff that Blockbuster would have no reason to keep in stock.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Did it have the swinging saloon doors to get to the porn?
No, it didn't. Unfortunately, I couldn't sneak under that barrier.
I say this all the time. I miss the video store because you would go and you would find these obscure things and you'd go, let's check this out. And like on Netflix, I just feel like I'm less likely to give something a try because I just look at it and I go, that looks like crap.
Right.
I'm going to keep looking for something good. Whereas I go to the video store and I'd rent like the A movie and the B movie. So we're going to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre tonight. And then I got Sorority Babes in the Slimehouse Bowl-orama or whatever.
Yep.
As the B movie afterwards.
Both equally good.
Yes, exactly, in their own way. You know what? I was glad I was in college when I was really into this because I would never go to a class on a Friday. I'd just say, I'm cutting Fridays. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, would go to the video store. And this is the education of Amy, because she never really watched horror movies or really any movies. And we would rent, I'm not kidding you, 6 to 7, 8 movies.
Awesome. And
like The Unnameable and Night of the Creeps and From Beyond and Witchboard. And just stay at her house.
Yeah.
The Boogans. You know what's funny? There's a writer, Reagan Butcher, who he collects novelizations of horror movies, and he's sending me a copy of the Boogans novelization.
He saw us tweeting about the Boogans, and he jumped in on the conversation.
Yes, I got to check my P.O. box and see if it's there. I can't wait.
Awesome.
So what's the new book?
The new book's called Mercy House. It came out with Random House had approached me about doing something, and then they put it out through their digital-only imprint. So it's that you can't get a paperback copy, which is a little bit of a problem for some of my people that like my stuff because they really like I started with like those 2 books, the like older school period pieces. So
right.
You attract older school people that only want physical media.
And it's cool because they want that because, of course, they're also going to think maybe one day he'll sign it, and it becomes a prized possession of theirs, which you don't get with an ebook.
Yeah, and you can't. And there are like things that like you can sign ebooks. Like there are like platforms, and I don't understand like the appeal. But yeah, so it's called Mercy House. It's out with Random House Hydra, and anyone who's not into reading ebooks, I highly suggest you find the app for your phone or for your things like that, and just give it a try because it's a really cool story. It's about very bad things happening in a nursing home. So they had approached me, and I guess they found me through Tribesmen and thought like I was an extreme horror writer because they had wanted something. They're like, we want something.
You wrote
really
a cannibal
crazy.
ghost book.
Yeah, but
I wonder why.
But what they wanted was like is way. I had to really push it. So this is it's halfway between me and Edward Lee, I would guess, because it's more extreme than I normally go, but not as extreme as the most extreme people go. If that makes sense.
That does. Knowing Edward Lee, that makes total sense.
It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like I pitch it as. Cocoon, because it's all the residents of Mercy House, everyone under a certain age, a switch just gets flipped and they kind of regain a lot of their abilities. They regain strength and cognitive ability, but it drives them insane. It's a survival horror book because it's kind of like a siege novel, kind of like a zombie novel, but they're they're not zombies because they're way smarter than zombies and they can talk. And each kind of tribe of old people, like some of them were into games, some of them were into eating, some of them were into, they were all doped up on drugs, so they raid the pharmacy at Mercy House. Like there's some of them, like, so they all kind of faction off into these different tribes.
Right.
And all the younger people that were in Mercy House when this happens have to fight to survive. So with all the nurses, the kids of the parents that are there, all these people have to kind of band together to get out.
That's a great idea. And in fact, you put it in a nursing home, which is a lot of them are a nightmare in themselves.
Yeah.
So, on a side note, I don't know why I'm laughing. We put my grandfather in a nursing home in like '88. And he was this Irish guy. He was a big drinker. He didn't buck any stereotypes whatsoever. So I go to visit him, and he's in the bed. He's in a room that you shared with 8 people. And it's just these little kind of like curtains, like, you know, a hospital room. So I come in, and he says, "Say hello to Big Head over there." There's a dude next to him in the bed with acromegaly. He's got a head like a wrecking ball. So my grandfather says, "Say hello to him, but don't ask him to get up and shake your hand because that big head has got him glued to the pillow."
God.
Oh, this poor, he had like big hands, like big deformed, big, and he just like and go, "Hello." I was like, "Oh my God, Grandpa." And then when Big Head died, he goes, "Big Head's gone, so you can't see Big Head anymore."
So the coffin,
we're learning like all about.
I was so kind of creeped out going there. Plus the overwhelming stench of urine and feces.
Yeah. We're learning all about what makes Hunter Hunter.
I know. And I brought my girlfriend there too. "Oh, your grandfather seems sweet." "Really? Okay."
I'm telling you, he doesn't need to write horror novels. He should just write his life story. Every story he's got is...
I have led a different life.
I have no Big Head. I saw Big Head Todd and the Monsters. That's all I got for Big Head.
Acromegaly is my middle name. Hey, now, I said earlier I just got here in time for the interview, and I was doing something with my family, and I wanted to reveal it because I think it affects Adam in some way. And Adam sure is going, "What the hell is he talking about?" My oldest daughter turned 18, and I said to her, I said, "Hey, you've always wanted a tattoo. Do you want to get a tattoo?" And she said, "Oh my God, yeah." So I said, "Well, I'll go with you. I'll get one too." So her and I had a daddy-daughter tattoo date.
Aw.
And then I brought my 16-year-old who felt left out, so I let her get another piercing in her lip, kind of right in the middle.
And then they kidnapped a school bus full of children and have them trapped in their basement.
Piss for everyone.
Rub the lotion on its skin.
My tattoo is all kind of wrapped up in the thing, so I'm going to take it off for the first time. And it should be nice and bloody, too, because I'm a big bleeder.
Oh, God.
So,
should you be doing that so soon?
Yeah, it's 2 hours. That's all you need. I don't know if you'll recognize what's on here.
Oh, my God. That's hardcore.
It's the SAMHAIN horror symbol.
That is hardcore.
I want extra royalties.
Did you tell them you were doing that?
No, I just did it, and I'm going to call everyone over there. And I said, I want big advances. I want higher royalties because I have now. Yeah.
No, you're all in.
I've sacrificed blood and ink for you.
No, now they know you can't go away, so now they're going to drop your royalties.
I know, right? I'm done.
Your cover arts are just going to be crayon and pencils.
It's so glistening right now because it's bloody.
Send Caitlin an invoice for that. I don't know how much tattoos cost, but they should be paying for that.
You know what? That's a great idea. That's a business expense.
To Christina Brashear, just send it a PayPal invoice.
Don Dioria. I'm not even going to give him a message. He doesn't even go online.
Yeah, no, he sends emails by carrier pigeon. So
yeah, he'll never hear this. So anyway, that's my conviction for our mutual publisher.
Your arm looks like Captain America telling kids to eat their broccoli.
You know what? Amy said the same thing. She said if you did it green, it would look like broccoli.
It looks good, though.
Yeah.
It really looks really good.
before we started recording, you had mentioned that there's a pretty cool horror scene in Philly, the Philly area where you are. Tell us about that, because we're up in the New York City area, so it's not that far.
I mean, we've got. When I was growing up, it was Long Island, so I was on Long Island, so I would go to the one that you guys are going to, because it's in like East Rutherford, right? Or has it switched around?
It's in Parsippany now.
Oh, okay, yeah, but it was in East Rutherford,
yep.
Like by the Meadowlands for a long time.
Yep.
The Philly film scene is awesome. There's you see a lot of stuff projected that you really can't. You're not going to be able to see everywhere else. And I'm moving down here from Boston, where I thought I had it pretty good there. Right. But it turns out a lot of the prints that I was seeing in Boston had played Philly first and were being sent up to the programmers in Boston. So I see, like I mentioned before, I saw Cannibal Holocaust, but they do Exhumed Films as a 24-hour horror-thon every around, like usually like the week before Halloween.
Right.
And they don't tell anyone what films they're showing. So
That's
you
awesome.
Just buy your ticket, and it's sold out within like 2 hours. You buy your ticket and you go, and you get there real early so you can get seats that are close. They let you bring in food. They let you bring in beer to the theater, and you sit with coolers and pillows and blankets, and you watch like 8 or 9. I don't know how many movies. I've never made it to the end, because by the end of the 7th movie, I always have like lower back pain and a terrible stomach ache. But I've seen some incredible stuff, and they did a film. They did a film series, like a 4-film. They were all lost movies that were thought were lost.
Right.
And these were like, in a lot of cases, these were like the only prints of them that have ever been shown. So Dracula, it's the one. It was produced by Ringo Starr. It's Young Dracula, not Young Dracula, or Dracula Jr. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
No.
It's insane. It stars. I'm drawing a total blank on his name. He wrote this. He wrote the song for Midnight Cowboy. Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson is plays Dracula in it, and Ringo plays Merlin the Magician, and it's nuts. It's a great movie, but you'd never be able to see this thing because the Beatles own it. Like Apple Co. owns it, and they don't let anyone like release it.
Right.
So we saw it. It was awesome.
That's funny, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do a lot of cool stuff.
If I could bring a blanket, a pillow, and a cooler of beer and watch horror movies, oh my god.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'd have to bring a chair. I cannot sit like Indian style for more than 5 minutes.
I might even put a catheter in so I never have to get up.
They do X Fest every year, which is 12 hours, but it's still pretty long, which is all exploitation films. So any kind of crazy, that's the crazier one. They don't show too many like really wild ones at the Horror-thon, but X Fest, like anything goes.
The guys with like trench coats tend to populate that?
Yeah, they show trench coat crowd type movies. Like I saw like weird like nudie cuties and like sexploitation movies and stuff like that, and blaxploitation and tough movies. Really cool stuff though.
That's awesome. You see, Jack, now we have a reason to go back to Philly other than that Mahogany cigar bar, which is like heaven on earth. Now we can go.
You guys know when X Fest is coming. You should come down.
That would be cool.
We should definitely do that.
So this is awesome, man. We're so glad that we had you on today. You are a font of information and fine writing, sir.
Oh, thank you.
And we'd love to have you on again because your movie reviews are really spot on. It's funny, they're intellectual without being hyper intellectual. You know, where you're like, oh, all right, get to the good stuff. But they're also not like dopey ones like me going, oh, that shit was awesome. You know, so
I do my fair share of that though.
Well, Hunter and I were talking like before we filmed our Halloween episode. We were talking about us compared to other horror podcasts. And we're like, a lot of these guys are like film students and guys, and they talk and what was the theme of that movie and what was the motivation behind it? And we're like, yeah, that had some good kills. Yeah, I love the boobs in that movie. You know, we're just like, you know.
I wonder why he ate the brains in From Beyond.
Well, I was a film student, so I'm trying to bridge that gap.
There you go. You're doing a good job, my friend. So everybody, you got to go out, I swear to God, pick up everything that Adam writes.
Thanks.
And right now, most of all, pick up Mercy House. Because if Random House sees big numbers, he gets bigger book deals next time around. So they'll be in hardcover and everywhere. I'll be able to get them at a Piggly Wiggly in Kentucky.
Awesome.
That's what we want.
Anything that strikes people's fancy. I try to have stuff for everyone. because I even have I have a quieter heart that's that I think is a lot more restrained than some of the crazy off the wall stuff we're talking about. So
Right.
anything people could want, look me up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll put all your contact info on the screen.
Awesome.
And dude, great to meet you, and thanks for coming. And like you said, we'll definitely have you on. Just talk movies and.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, this was great. I really love this. Yeah.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, guys. And it was nice meeting you, Jack, and nice seeing you again,
Hi.
Hunter.
Hi, Jennifer.
She says hi. She's doing this, hiding her face.
Nice. All right, well, then let's call that a show, guys. And Hunter, I'll see you next time on
Monster Man.
Grr, arg.